The next recipe that we're going to be doing is called Almond Jewels. And these cookies are delicious. Now, this is only the second time I've made them. And of course, I made some ahead of time. I'm going to make some again. And we're going to have like 40 cookies, actually minus one, because I had to taste it in order to tell you it's delicious. Oh. So I cheated a little bit. So this is the second time I've made these. And this is in the 10 Talents Cookbook. I know that some of you have this book, and that is on page 94. And it's I was very surprised how, it's not difficult at all to make these cookies, and they're so good. And what I like about it is that I've never made cookies with the jam inside. I said, let me, challenge myself and make some of these. I'm telling you, it's delicious, and it's so easy. Okay, so what we're gonna do is follow the recipe. Now this recipe calls for 1 cup of whole wheat pastry flour or 1 1/4 cups of quick oats. I did use the quick oats because you just put it in the blender anyways. And it's going to make it sort of like into flour anyway. So, okay, and then it calls for cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. No, it's baking. Yeah, cornstarch. And I use the non GMO Rumford cornstarch. And I ordered a bunch of these on Amazon. I got like 12 of them in my freezer. And let's see, also salt. I use pink Himalayan salt, a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, 2/3 cups of brown sugar. I'm thinking, brown sugar, how are these going to make these cookies taste like with brown sugar in it? Because I never made cookies with brown sugar. And well, anyways, I didn't have brown sugar. And I'm thinking, well, how do I make brown sugar? Anybody can make brown sugar at home. As long as you have molasses, you can make brown sugar. Usually with 1 cup of, I use turbinado sugar, is raw turbinado sugar, and I just put like a tablespoon per cup of sugar. You can use any kind of sugar you want, but this is turbinado, and it makes brown sugar. And I think and it smells like, I said, well, that's how they make brown sugar. If you just add molasses, just add molasses to it. So it calls for brown sugar. Also, it calls for either a teaspoon of regular baking powder or 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, but I use the Ener-G baking soda, and I ordered this on also, was it Amazon? Amazon too. Also, it calls for 2 cups of raw almonds. Now, the first cup you're going to, when I blend it up, is going to be 1 cup and blend it up into a fine flour. And then the second cup that we use is going to be, after all this blended up, add that in, and you kind of blend it till it's like the size of a grain, like wheat grain, because it makes a little bit of bulk in the cookies. And also applesauce. We're going to use a 1/2 cup of applesauce. We got the applesauce at good old Walmart. And let's see, 1/4 cup of water and 2 teaspoons of vanilla, which I have my vanilla here. And of course, you can order any kind of jam that you want, any kind of fruit jam. I chose raspberry jam. And this is, I love raspberry jam, it's good. Only thing I don't like about raspberry jam is that the seeds in it. But otherwise, it's very good in the cookies. Okay, so what we're going to do first, the recipe, we're going to put in our oats, which is, or flour, whatever you use. Yeah, you can use that. I was thinking about that, Lily, because I have almond flour at home, and you can use that. Just put it in there. Yeah, if you want to use that, for like the first cup of almond, instead of the nuts, you can use the almond flour. There's no difference. I don't think there would be any difference. I haven't tried it, but I'm going to try it. And also it calls for the cornstarch. And of course, the cornstarch, there's 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in there. I guess the cornstarch helps, hold the cookies together more. That's what I'm thinking, why the cornstarch is in there. Because I was wondering, what is the cornstarch in there for? So I'm thinking it's probably just sort of like a binder. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And let's see, it calls for salt. And the salt there is, let's see, salt, there's 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of salt, which is a pink Himalayan. 1 teaspoon of salt, and then brown sugar. Oh yes, I got my 2/3 cups of brown sugar. I already measured that out already, so we'll just dump it right in there. And then it calls for, let's see, brown sugar, baking soda. It's my Ener-G baking soda. So I'm going to put in, let's see, 1 tablespoon it calls for that one. But if you use baking powder or soda, it's a little bit different measurements. Let's see, 1 tablespoon, put a little bit more in there. Okay. Then we put in 1 cup of almonds. So let's see, we'll put in 1 cup of almonds. Get my measuring cup out. Okay, 1 cup. A little bit more. Ooh, extra almonds. Okay. So we're going to blend this up until it's a fine flour. It's all blended to fine flour. All right, so that looks like a real good flour mixture. And I forgot my bowl, Norman. We got to dump this in a bowl after we do this. Almonds. Yes. Sorry about that. Now we're going to put in our cup of almonds. The other cup of almonds that is in the recipe. And this is going to be just grounded just enough, like maybe 10-15 seconds until it's kind of like in just little tiny pieces, like, yes, thank you so much. Little tiny pieces that are like grain. Check it and see how it looks. I know last time when I made this, the other day when I made it, it took a while for it to really, because some of the pieces they were kind of chunkier than others. It still needs a little bit more, just a little bit more blending so we can get it in smaller pieces. Yeah. I think that did it. That did it. Okay, so now what we're going to do now, we're going to dump this in the bowl. And let me get my bowl over here. Let me move this over here more. Okay, so we're going to dump this in here. And I got a little bit, sometimes it gets stuck on their food processor on the bottom here.
So how much your food processor is running now? Mine is old as dirt, so.
We got this years ago, Lily. How much did we pay for this?
I don't know, it's like $89.
Yeah. Well, mine's kind of like scratched up now, and
Mine is too.
yeah. They get scratched up. You wonder, how did they get scratched up? The blade's not touching it. So what's making it scratched up? Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to add in the rest of the ingredients and be able to use a cookie sheet after that. So let me move this thing out of the way. We're finished with that. And now it's going to call in the rest of the ingredients. And it says to put in a 1/2 cup of applesauce. So we're going to measure up our 1/2 cup. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, oh, no, that's 1/3 cup. I thought I had applesauce measured up. I guess I didn't. Well, I know what I do. 1/4 and 1/4 equals a 1/2 cup. So I'll just measure 2 of these. That's 1/4 cup. All right, so we got the applesauce in there. All right, put that right there. Put that there. Okay, and then it calls for the, let's see, 1/4 cup of water. So, yeah, that's what I have that 1/4 cup in there for the water. 1/4 cup of water. That. Then it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. That's 1, and that is 2. Okay, I think that's all the ingredients that we need in there. Of course, the jam doesn't get in there until after we make the cookies. And they were kind of like, I kind of wish it was kind of firmer, my first batch, because it was kind of like, it wasn't too firm, you know, where you could make it like a little hole in the cookie. And this is more firmer now. And I think, you know, what I did, that's why I added a little bit of extra almonds in there, because I'm thinking something was not right about that. So I'm going to make it more thicker this time, so that way it'd be easier to make the cookies. And this batch here makes about 20 cookies. Yep. There, that looks like a good. Yep, yep. Yes, yes, and these cookies are delicious. In fact, I have some I want to show you all, you know, but I'm going to show first how this is done. I'm going to make sure everybody knows how to do this. But I'll do a few of these right now, and then I'll do the rest of it and let Pam do her next recipe. Okay, so we got a spoon, and I'm not sure how much each, but it says you can use a small ice cream scoop. I don't have a small ice cream scoop, so I just try to eye it, just trying to make them. That's about right, I think. Maybe a little bit more. Depends on how big you eat. You don't have to make 20 cookies. You can make big cookies if you want. You can make small ones, whatever you want. I mean, there's no rule to it. And let's see. Now, you just make a little dent in it. I'm not going to use my fingers. You know, I do have plastic wrap that I can use, but I don't know where that is right now. And you can use that and make a little tiny hole in it, and then put your little jam in there. Which, let's see, I guess I'll use this right now.
You got a plastic spoon? I got some plastic spoon.
You do? Yes, yes. Thank you. I should have been more prepared. I wasn't prepared. Okay, I blame it on daylight savings time.
That's the
because I was not completely prepared. I'll blame it on that. Thank you so much. And we're gonna put a little jam in there, and it makes it so pretty, and it tastes so good. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Isn't it pretty, you guys? It's so pretty. And I'm going to show you the cookies that I made the other day. I mean, these are going to be prettier than the ones I'm going to make today. No, those are going to be prettier because they're more firmer. These are kind of like, but this is the way after they're cooked. That's the way they look like. So we get to enjoy today.